Like, you're paying how
But
much, and you got a crackhead outside?
yo, and I tell you, there's this new breed of black people who think they about to make it out the hood by buying the hood and selling it back to the hood. That's not how it works. That's not how.
Yeah, I never understood how that was a good idea.
Honestly, I tell people it's terrible, but I'm kind of pro gentrification. I mean, like, I'm sorry, y'all. Hear me out. He's like, whatever. He's like, that's not what I meant. But
you could have said anything. I'm pro the economy changing. I'm pro more. I would even giving you a. I'm more pro having more police around. But you said
gentrification.
Nah, bro. You said no. Let Karen and Dick, not Richard, but Dick, come on down, buy up the hood, and plant some trees nearby. That's what you want?
Nani?
Dynamite. You have to.
All right, cool. But we're talking about this later. So what we're going to talk about now is me. Why? Because this is Icon Talks, and that's what I'm about to do. So we have two guests with us tonight. One would be Mr. Heero. Yeah, the one who just flexed on y'all. And the one you guys already know, that's Mr. Shake. So, Mr. Heero, can you please introduce yourself?
Of course. How y'all doing? It's a pleasure to be here. My name is Heero. Good friend of Icon. Me and Shake just met up. He has wild ideas about gentrification. But I am by day a pulmonary transplant specialist. By night, I'm a programmer. And sometimes in between, with my capes being dried, I like to talk about spicy topics that usually involve trying to overtake the government and empowering black people. Normally, I'm chewing bubblegum, but I'm all out of that. So let's talk about the facts.
Wow. Yeah, Shake, follow that for us.
His own intro.
Hell yeah. Did he just battle rap us? He came with slogans and everything.
Like,
you gonna get this work. Let me work. Let me work.
Let me work. I was like, they got the whole slogan on me. You ain't got the bubble gum, so let's talk this fast. I was like, damn. Bars.
All right, just to have a little levity here. Heero, you're on the first date and her breath stinks. What do you do?
First date, breath stink? Yeah. Do I have mints or anything to assist her with?
Is your scenario after that? Just her breath stinks, what do you do? So
me personally, I always have mints on me. If breath stink first date, I like to say most people's breath stink. I've hugged Beyonce. Her breath didn't stink, but it wasn't like super refreshing. I thought I was going to get hit by like a wave of refreshings, but most people breath stink and they don't know it. So I always offer the mint while we waiting at the table. But for me, that's not a deal breaker, but I offer the mint.
Shake, first date, her breath stinks. What do you do?
I'm going to go either mint, gum. But honestly, I'm just going to be like, yo, lady, woo, the breath, it's hot. That's all jokes people say. Jokes. No, but like that's rude. No one wants that themselves. Like you gotta be smooth and slick about it because you're not trying to. You never know. Who knows what she look like? Does she look good? Is it just a bad day? Like because you need to know where that bad breath is coming from. Like it could just be a one-off, or it could be halitosis. You know what I mean? Maybe she ate something earlier, and it's not bad breath, but it's coming from the stomach. So that's just no matter if you give it a gum, or she a baddie. So you just gotta deal with the bad breath. Just remember, you don't kiss her for breath, Brad.
How you gonna be with a baddie and not kiss her,
dude?
Do I need to explain the physics on how you do that? Like it seems like I think we're all adults here, right? Like,
you notice. I led my conversation.
The canine position, my friend. The canine position. You don't even kiss somebody in that position.
All right. I figured that would be a good icebreaker. It kind of was. So let's get to the first topic. Okay. What is the dumbest thing you believed as a kid? Something that you don't believe now, and when you look back, you think to yourself, how the hell did I believe that? Shake, you want to take this one first?
Jesus Christ. No, I'm playing Santa, Easter Bunny. People are innately good as opposed to people are people. I don't think people are innately bad, but like as a kid, I thought people were innately good. And it's like some people are just bad, but I think people are just, human beings are just human beings. So like the easy cliche one, Easter Bunny, all that stuff, Santa Claus, Well, not really Santa Claus. My mom made sure I knew that there wasn't no white man giving us no gifts. Right? It was your mom and dad working their ass off. There was never no white man. If anything, you want to believe in Santa, Santa was black in this household. He came through the front door. He didn't come down the chimney. He came right through the front door. He wasn't sneaking in the crib. We're Caribbean. We don't allow people to sneak into our house.
Okay, Batman says he thought The Rock, Vin Diesel, and John Cena were the same person.
I mean, shit.
I can understand that.
They use all the same steroid. Might as well. Shit.
It's called HGH.
Heero, I'm scared to ask you that question. I don't think you ever believed anything stupid.
Actually, I think the dumbest thing I believed as a child was that adults had their shit together. Like,
bruh.
like I can't tell you how mystified I was to find out that like my parents raised me off of $32,000, like my ass, because I eat $400 worth of groceries. Like I knew I was eating my way out of a house. So like when I used to see my uncle kicking it with us over the weekend, and then he'd be there till Monday, he's still there Tuesday. I'm like, oh, this is great, Uncle kicking it with us, not knowing Uncle and been put out of his house, Auntie mad at him. He's been in infidelity. Like just finding out that adults aren't the people that we thought they were being raised was just eye-opening. And I think it came to me at like a super young age. Like I kept asking my friends, like, why are you always late to school? And they'd be like, oh, my mom and dad are fighting about who's gonna get custody over me. I was like, okay, that's a story. All right.
Oh man. All right. I think the dumbest thing I believed as a kid was that I could beat up adults to the point where my dumb ass damn near got into a fight. I had to be in like third grade. I didn't get into a fight, but I was talking shit to a grown man. And my father came through. The way he yanked me damn near broke my neck. And I just remember how, that was the dumbest shit. I thought I could beat grown men. I'm 3-4 years old. I'm stupid. Yeah.
Hey, when did you realize that you could take on your pops though? When was the day that you realized like, oh, pops could get it? Pops could get it now.
Never.
Oh, for me, because my pops is an inch taller than me, right? And we look the same. So he's always been bigger than me. There was never a moment in which, and my pops made it very clear off rip, like, oh, I knew my dad didn't fight fair. Right? Like he's not gonna fight me fair. So it's not gonna be we gonna throw the ones if I ever bust up like that. He gonna hit me with something. It's not gonna be a fair fight. So what probably wasn't until my dad like physically started deteriorating, like knees started going. I was like, yo, I'm gonna take your whole knees out, right? Like we start fighting, I'm just gonna swing at that knee and watch you crumble, right? And see how you gonna get up. How you gonna get up, old man? Right? Like
wow.
I was probably not till 20, but when I truly realized, all right, because I know you take swipes at the king, you best not miss, right?
Facts.
You got to cut his head at all. There's not no halfway beating, right? You get the first head of the table, the big piece of chicken at dinner. None of this is a full on. You are now the man of the house of this household.
Hold on, but wait. So, Heero, there was a point in your life where you believed you could beat your dad.
Yeah, absolutely. I made that painfully clear. It was there was a day that our sedan, his sedan was stuck in the mud, and we was out there. He was like, "Yeah, we're gonna wait for the tow truck to come." And I was like, "What are we waiting on the tow truck to come for?" And it was like, "Well, we stuck in the ditch in this mud." I was like, "I got you, Pops. Just hit the neutral." And I literally put him on two wheels and pushed him out the ditch with a shoulder check. And my dad, I saw my dad age before me, and it was in that moment he was like, "Are you hurt or anything?" I was like, "No, I'm good." He was like, let's go and get to the house. And from that day, that man always started. He's like, "Yeah, that he the man of the house now. He big strong." My dad gave me that respect. So he in his mind, he was like, "I might as well make sure he knows I'm on his side. Like I don't want a situation where me and him are coming to bats." But I did notice that I didn't have any more curfews or nothing like that. I started getting a lot more respect in the house.
Well, I'm going to leave that one alone. I'm going to tell my dad's story on another occasion. So, our next topic, 40 million reasons. So, NBA's Ja Morant suspended by the Memphis Grizzlies, probably will be suspended by the NBA. Why? Because he wants to flash guns on Instagram and run with the hood. You would think to yourself, why does a man with a $250 million contract want to run with the hood? But beyond that, my question to you guys is there something that you would not be able to give up for a $40 million contract? Because apparently Ja Morant can't give up trying to be hard. Is there something that you cannot give up for a $40 million contract?
If I had to pick anything, and I do mean this, anything, it would be my peace or my sanity, right? Like if I was being stressed, like I think about like when I do surgery and like some of the things that people have done to me while I'm trying to perform surgery, and I'm like, that's not gonna cut it, that has to stop. And I remove myself. Like I've removed surgeons from my room because they've altered my presence, my peace. So like I have that power and I have that authority. But if I could just touch on Ja Morant, I have never seen anybody so desperate for attention. When you say you're good in the West and you get your butt spanked by the oldest man in the league and get sent to the couch, so you over here sitting with me now? Ja Morant has to understand two things. One, you're a little kid. Don't be out here acting like you're grown, because the worst thing you could do, and it's not even a big, it's a 22. You can't even kill a fruit fly with that. Like, at least have a big gun.
Well, it's like a shot with a high point. You know, disrespect would be shot with a high point. Everybody knows guns, right? Someone shoots you with a high point, you should go back to the person who shot you. Get them a better gun. Let them shoot you with a better gun.
Yeah.
Wow. So give them another chance.
What is a high point?
Give them another chance.
Yeah. If you get shot with a high point, it's the most disrespectful thing to get shot with. You
Like,
might as well say, like, hold on, I don't think you meant to do this. So, like, this is my thoughts on the Ja Morant situation, right? So, let's talk about this. What he's done in Tennessee technically is not illegal. He technically is when it is his God-given statehood rights and federal rights to be a gun owner, right? Mm-hmm. Technically, what he's doing is nothing new for 23-year-olds of that generation, right? Previous generations we told on ourselves in different ways, right? Mm-hmm. Your generation told ourselves through rap. My generation was the ones who told on ourselves through the initial wave of social media, Facebook, tweeting, and stuff like that, right? At that age, doing young, dumb stuff at that age. This generation, the Gen Zs and younger, they go on Instagram Live. I see it because I have friends who are the same age who don't have the notoriety that Ja Morant does. They go on live doing young, dumb stuff for 2 and 3 people, just the same, right? So he's being punished because what he's doing is just detrimental to the brand of the league. David Stern is tossing in his grave right now, right? Because let's not forget, David Stern was the one who implemented at first what we all thought as black people, racist, the dress code violation, the dress code policy, which ended up being the best thing for the NBA players because they ended up making so much more money in all these fashion deals years down the line, right? At first, everybody thought it was racist. It was just only against Allen Iverson. But David Stern realized, like, yo, as a brand, just like the NFL does it, you have to protect the brand. The brand is what makes money, right? And the Ja Morant situation, it's just a 23-year-old kid you've given so much money to, right? Just like Michael Jordan, all those old heads said, they didn't have to earn it. They get the money now up front. This is what 23-year-old kids do. Dumb shit, right? You try and get them to do what they're supposed to. They say, yeah, do it, and go back to doing dumb shit. I was 23 doing dumb shit. Like,
and now you're in your 30s doing dumb shit. So let me tell you why I disagree with what you just said. Ja Morant's issue is not that this stuff is legal. It's that he signed a contract with a moralities clause. Yep. And as soon as he decided, I don't want to abide by that clause, he also decided to forego hundreds of millions of dollars. That's the only thing I disagree with what you said. Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go for it.
No, sir, you go for it. Let's go. You're the guest.
I'll add this to this clause because in my NFL contract, I've seen these clauses because I've also often wondered how do some of my offensive linemen who are the big cornbread fed fellas who go out shooting deer every season and take pictures with their butts and their rifles get away with that? And they sold me in their contract how they had their clause removed. My whole thing is Ja Morant is the star of Memphis. He could, if he wanted to, make that clause disappear from his contract. He could have done that after the first offense, but he chose not to. And this goes up with his agent, his PR, and his representation. And I just want to send a quiet jab to the NRA, because if there's anybody who could use somebody's support right now, it is John Morant. And I would love to see a dread-headed black man get some fucking proper notoriety here. In the world where there are 8 guns to every American citizen, you mean to tell me a star like John Morant can't get no help from the NRA? Damn.
All right. Let me Stephen A. Smith you real quick. Let me tell you why you're wrong. As Dan so firmly stated, you don't think the context of the gun displaying a big part of what is wrong, why it's wrong? You gave an example of someone going hunting, which is an activity that we've done. Well, I'm not gonna go back in the history of hunting. Flashing a gun with, I'm about to sound like Phil Jackson. Let me be racist real quick. Flashing a gun with your posse. Yeah, I just did Phil Jackson.
Say it. Go ahead, say it.
There's a big difference between going hunting.
That's the reason why it's a problem.
I am baffled.
I'm
baffled.
Whoa. Hold on.
Tennessee's governor sent a Christmas card out with his posse.
Yes, he does.
So what's the difference?
The optics.
You win.
Why
I give up.
The conversation. How he looks. He's a dread-headed nigga, right? That's how he looks.
Hold on.
That's
Real talk.
That's how the cornbread offensive lineman can get it out of the morality clause, can be shown with the gun, right? There's no difference from what he did.
There's no difference.
He just listened to some music.
Again,
I've gone to mad at those country white boy parties, and they're popping off guns with beer, with alcohol, and far more dangerous than he has ever been. The only difference is America can palate one thing and cannot palate another thing, right?
Right, but you said it with your original argument. The NBA has to market you. You're not making $250 million in a contract if they can't market you. So when you sign a contract that says, hey, these are the things we need you to do or not to do. For instance, you can't ride a motorcycle. Are we talking about that? No, it's something you can't do. Jason Williams found out the hard way, didn't he? Yeah. He hopped his ass on a motorcycle, and now he's a commentator. He's not an NBA player.
And I totally agree with Icon saying. I admit that John Morant is wrong here. Hey, the contract dictates your ability to move and function in the world. My only beef with this is the fact that he doesn't have a PR team or an agent surrounded around him to make these things go away. Period. That's my whole thing.
All right. Shake, if you got any last words, I need to hear them now because we're going to the next topic.
Next topic.
All right. There we go. Okay, Rudy Giuliani, America's mayor, has made the news. Yes. Heero, your face says it all. So apparently Mr. Giuliani likes to sexually harass women, likes to call black people very derogatory terms, and likes to dress in drag and kiss men.
He's 81 years old. Are you surprised? Like
that he dresses in drag?
People need to understand. No, that he sexually, he's a sexual misconduct. That he's a little racist, right? Because let's keep it 100. He was like at least a little racist, right? He was probably 20, so he was a fully functioning grown man when the Civil Rights Act gets signed. So he knew what was and what wasn't. That's the difference. Like, people give these old people a pass. I'm like, no, some of y'all were grown, fully functioning adults, right? And could have made choices and didn't, and were forced to due to the times, right? A lot of y'all of a certain generation were fully functioning adults who are now begging for passes on your post-racism. Jerry Jones.
All right, hold on, Shake. Let me rewind for a second. So this section is Do We Care? So I'm going to tell the scenario. Take a few minutes to tell me if you care and why. So let's go to the first one. All right, sexual assault. A young lady who worked for him has audio of him being very I can't even think of the words for it. Let's say very misogynistic and very forceful with her. So she is suing for sexual assault. They supposedly had a sexual relationship. But the gist of this is sexual assault. Do we care? Heero, you want to go first?
Do I care? Yes. Sexual assault the accusation of sexual assault is always going to be a serious clause for me. Something I care more about is he was taking bribes of $2 million to get presidential pardons.
Yes, that is also in the audio.
But that's
my
story.
A little low. 2 million seems low. I feel like you got offer than that. Right? I see how Kodak got off. Like $2 million, he was really low. Right? Like, if all you need is $2 million in capital and you could have had a presidential pardon, like I would have definitely. Well, I don't have $2 million in capital.
I'm about to say, bro, you act like people walking around with $2 million.
I'm about to say, name 5 people you know with $2 million right
I know
now.
you from New Jersey, but damn.
Damn, I like say Chris Christie. You know Chris Christie like that?
He was on the beach with him.
You was on the beach with him, huh?
Why do you think I'm happy they was getting the riffraff away from me?
Shit. Oh man said gentrification. I didn't know you was leading it.
All right.
Like, I'm a developer. Like I buy up the blog and don't sell it back.
Okay, so about 20 years ago, to what word am I looking for here? To advertise a fundraiser, Rudy Giuliani dressed up like a woman and was kissed by Donald Trump. Do we care? Shake, you can go first, please.
No, I don't care. I mean, what men do behind closed doors, as long as you don't bring it to me, it's cool with me. Right? Like, that's upon you.
Heero, if you don't tear him up for this one, I will.
You know what? I'm gonna lean on him actually and say no, I don't care, because the hypocrisy of the right is nothing new to me. This is what they do. They will do it in the shadows and use it as a prop to make money. But then when it's time to make laws, they're gonna make sure they act real funny. So the hypocrisy of the right does not matter to me. It's what they're known for.
Well, that's why I did care, because of the hypocrisy. But you very eloquently stated that, so I'm going to go to the next one.
That rhymes.
Do we care? On this tape that this abused woman has, Rudy is heard saying some very derogatory things about people of color. Primarily, we cannot control ourselves. It is in our nature to be violent. Do we care? Shake?
No. Why do I care what some 82-year-old old Italian man thinks about us? Italians, right? There's an actual scientific, like kind of a internal DNA reason why they are more racist toward people of color than anybody else, right? Yeah. It's the Barbary trait is a reason why, right? Like it was one of the last reason why they don't like Africans. I'm not saying it's right by any stretch of the imagination, but why would I care what some 81-year-old Italian man thinks about me? I'm never gonna come on. He couldn't even get in front of the right Hilton while having his hair dye bleed across his face on national television. Come on, no man has no drip, no drown, nothing.
Oh, he had drip. Yeah, a lot of drip.
So it was definitely dripping. You're right.
I wish I had my little damn it, I wish I had it.
Don DeMarco. But bro, what do I care about for some 81-year-old Italian man? And I love Italian people. But come on, man.
For me, I'm gonna take a jab at this from the other. I do care, because we have to remember that this was at one point in time America's mayor. This was the man who held us through 9/11. This is a guy that is highly regarded and still to this day holds enough capital to garner people coming to the wrong Hilton to come see him. Let's not be conflated with the fact that he went to the wrong place. Let's be conflated with the fact that people are still wise enough to follow him there. So with that being said, he still holds political power, and he has the ability to talk to once the strongest man in the world, which was Donald Trump. So with that being said, it is a reason to be concerned. It is a reason to care. But I mean, in the grand scheme of things, is he affecting my Tuesday evening? No.
Hold on. You said something that I disagree with. right? You said once most powerful man in the political world, in Donald Trump. Like you're crediting his political power in 2023, including 2024. I think that's the problem.
Wait. How is it a problem if you don't care?
No.
Like, how's it?
I don't care because he said he represents a person who was once powerful. Like, no, that's now I care because, like, if you're saying it to me, then you shouldn't care. Because he represents a person who is the most powerful political person in American politics at this point.
Once was.
No. Donald Trump is right now. He still is.
What makes him powerful?
The man is
his
facing
ignorance.
A 36 count felony recount, right? Looking at 136 years, goes up 12 points in the polls, right? Has just absolutely Donald Trump, Meatball Ron, right? Who everybody was initially afraid of.
Wait. You actually consider Meatball Ron to be somebody of notoriety?
Initially, because he was Donald Trump, but an educated Donald Trump. He moved differently. But no, Donald Trump just says, guess what? I'm just better than you. You don't beat the original. Just like MJ said to Kobe, right? You can wear the shoes, but you're not. You can wear the shoes, but you're not me, right? And Meatball has not come back with a 55. He ain't dropped 55 on him, right? He has not come back. He's been on the bench riding it. Mm-hmm. Nothing. He's Smush Parker, not Kobe.
Wow.
Right? Where
but what I'm not understanding is you're giving all the
136 years.
You're giving
all this the validity to the point where we should care.
Right? No, that's right. So now I care because if it was just Rudy Giuliani and him in a vacuum, I don't care about his opinion. But he still represents the most powerful political person in the world to me. So now that is what now drawn me into caring. I didn't care until he brought up that point. That's what I'm making.
Okay. And we're going to move on because I think enough was said there. All right. So I was reading an article and I thought, this sounds really strange. What would Shake think? So a young lady who has been with her boyfriend for about 2 or 3 years knows that her boyfriend has a very close relationship to his siblings. So she comes... The sister is coming to visit her brother, which is, of course, here's the boyfriend. So the girlfriend comes home and she hears a shower running. She's not thinking anything of it. Then her boyfriend walks out the shower. Then his sister also walks out the shower.
Oh, hell no. Oh, hell no.
And he talks to his girlfriend as if this is normal. And the look on Heero's face is priceless.
That's either not his sister. That's really not his sister.
Oh, no, this is really the sister. This is the sister.
What country is this?
This is the United States of America.
What state?
Are they immigrants?
I do not remember the state. I don't even. Yeah, I'm really trying to break this down. No, Hoist, this is this sister, not a stepsister. This is a sister that he took baths with as a child and sees nothing wrong with taking showers with as an adult.
I know how you're trying to trick us. What page of Pornhub were you on? Was it 34?
The first one.
Oh, damn. Okay.
So, question here. Do y'all think they're banging? Because they are siblings. They're real siblings. Are they banging?
Nah, but it's still disgusting. It's still disgusting. Like, I have an older sister, and there's no reason for me to ever be showering with her. Like, I'll go to work stinking before I shower with my sister. And be like, yo, this is the situation. Like, no, there's.
I've never heard Shake at a loss for words.
Like, that's disgusting. That's nasty. What, like, fucking or not? That's nasty. That's just nasty. That's nasty. My man.
Because you want to give people the benefit of the doubt, but then you remember, yo, everybody can't make it, and this situation, these people not about to make it either. Because I was sitting here thinking, like, oh, maybe she has a disability or something like that. But the level of comfort that you have, like, maybe this is an example of extreme poverty and the trauma, but I can't give that to them because there's nothing stopping you. You live in a house. You have. I'm assuming, even if you have just one shower, what's wrong with y'all taking turns? The math ain't mathing for me. And
Heero was upset.
Because no, because like I have had conversations with like people who just finished having a double lung transplant. And I'm like, hey, you're gonna have to help this person shower, so you might have to bathe with them, and the discomfort, like, oh my God, I have to bare my naked. I mean, you can put on a swimsuit if you want to, but this person might not be able to manage themselves in the shower or bathtub without your assistance, and they're uncomfortable helping a disabled person. So now you have two able-bodied mother lovers, and you know your homegirl is in the back, and you just going, yeah, in fact, let me guess, y'all sharing towels? Who used the loofah first? And let me guess, they probably didn't even have a loofah. They probably just went straight bar soap. So let me guess, he hit the triangle first, and then you went with the dirty third? What was it? Like, this is madness.
Okay, so at what age is it inappropriate to bathe your children together?
Whenever
definitely by the time one of them is hitting puberty, they need to stop.
I think puberty's kind of late, isn't it?
10.
Because I'm from a Caribbean family, so like it's like the girls in the family hit puberty by 9, and they all hit puberty by 9. So like it was like 9, 10, so the same age, 9, 10 years old. So up about the like you don't need to be doing all that. Like
10 years old. The moment you have to separate their bedrooms, that's enough.
That's a good point. So Miss Super said 10. Hoist is like 0. They should never be.
Hoist, don't give a care. He said no.
Kodak's like 10. Hell no.
Like, because I think about housing situations, right? Like
you might be broke.
Yeah,
Dyson, that's 5 and 7. I can see 5 and 7.
Yeah.
Like I remember taking baths with my brother, but we were I was 3-4 years old.
Because definitely by 5 and 7, definitely by 9
okay.
and 10.
I'll say this:
a kid has a true understanding of their own body, right?
Yeah,
like,
I would say
by that point, I knew my body. Like I knew what was downstairs. I knew what was on the other was what women didn't have that I had, and I wanted what they had. But definitely by
7,
9 and 10.
Yeah, yes. Like if same sex to 10, 4 or 5 if they're opposite sex.
Okay, Dyson says when the oldest can take a shower, they shall bathe alone.
Facts. Because like it was a survival tactic, honestly. The reason why I used to take baths with my brother is because to make sure that little motherfucker didn't drown. Like that was my mission in there. My mom was like, you make sure his head stay above the water. You feel me? And I was like, so when do I bath? She's like, when he leaves. I'm like, oh, I'm the lifeguard now. Oh, okay.
Also, what doesn't make no sense, right? We all have showered. I mean, I'm assuming we all got a significant other. As an adult, you shower with another person as an adult. You don't ever get as clean,
never.
Right?
No, and then you sit in the back of the shower getting cold.
For 2 people, and all 3 of us is big men, right? So imagine if, like, even if we shower with some other person, right? There ain't a lot of room. Yet you another adult person you just shower, you ain't even fucking. You just showering. So now I'm not even coming out clean.
And then you find out the truth that your partner don't wash her legs, and then you got to break up with her.
Okay, this conversation is going in a lot of different places.
She's like, "Why are you bending over? Why are you touching my legs?" Oh, hey, pack your shit up when we done here.
No, just like this. You dirty.
All right, guys, we have a reoccurring topic, which we call "Giving a Damn When It's Not Your Turn to Give a Damn." And I think we have all been through this, so let me give this quick scenario. If you and your coworker both put in for the same promotion, and not only do you feel that you're more qualified, but you actually are more qualified, but your coworker gets the promotion, will you help your coworker get up to speed? Shake, I know you have some experience with this one. I'll let you go first.
No. Depends. Honestly, it depends on the situation, right? Like, if I'm actually friends and like actually homies with the person, even though I am more qualified or with Melv, but it's better off that my friend looks better. But if we're just coworkers, like we're not actually friends outside of work, we're not actually friends outside of work. Hell no, it's not my job to train you, right? Unless I'm being paid, I don't believe it's my job to train my boss. That's the person who hired you's job, right? He's supposed to be managing me. Tell me what to do. Lead me, leader. right? You were the one who paid the big bucks now.
I feel south of this because I maybe because I come from the healthcare industry where like I train fellows that become attendings. So when that med student comes to me after 4 years, I know that they're going to be ahead of me in an attending position if they're in charge of another department. I think you have to have, and I'm a big fan of this. You have to have work friends and you have to have real life friends. Your work friends you keep around. That's the Bob and the Eugenes. You give them Snicker bars. So when they come back after getting their 2-week notice, they shooting people down. They be like, thanks for that Snickers bar. Like you have to keep those people around. But moreover, helping this person get to their next level isn't gonna stop you from gaining their approval. Like you trust and believe the people that I've trained with my bare hands that are now attendings, when I call them at 4 a.m. and say, hey, I need someone to come look at this patient, there is no confusion. You're doing this for me. So like I use this as leverage. Like I never everything is a learning opportunity, but that's just from my unique perspective.
Okay.
That must be the medical industry.
Let me reiterate here. You are incredibly more qualified than this person, and your potential outweighs theirs. You would still be the team player.
Absolutely. Every person that I've trained, I am more qualified than. When they came to me as a 4-year resident, they couldn't cut a person open. By the time I left, they could juggle someone's heart and lung and put it in backwards and still make it pump blood. Because I trained them to do that. Because I'm training them to save my family one day. Me one day. I'm not training them.
I deliver pizzas for a living. So hell no. No. I'm a software developer. If there is a lead position open and my team doesn't have anyone who has lead potential, then I feel I should be up for that job, considering I lead my current team.
Yeah.
So if you're hiring from the outside, that person you bring in, they need to be better than me, not at the procedures that we have in place, because those are company procedures, but they need to be better than me at a few things. One, talking to a team, getting the team to do the things that it needs to do. Outside, I do believe that you train your boss, because you have to train your boss on the procedures of the current company. That's it. I'm not training my boss on how to code. That's
a different conversation.
That's not happening.
Exactly.
No, if they feel that this person is more qualified than me, then let this person be more qualified than me. I had a friend who he worked at Peli Peli, the leather company, and he started there unloading trucks. But he's a very personal person. Interpersonal communications, he was just incredibly strong at that. So he started meeting everyone, and because of that, he would end up going to meetings, and then he became embedded into the marketing team. So when they needed a new vice president, well, not vice president, but like assistant, something in marketing, some position came up, he applied for it. They told him no. They said he didn't have the experience. He said, okay. They hired someone else. He didn't have a problem with that. He's still unloading trucks. So they were at a marketing meeting, and they asked him a question. He said, ask him. Ask the dude you hired. 3 weeks later, he had the job. That's what I believe in. I'm not helping. Like, the dude didn't know his job. You hired someone because they had a good resume, but this dude actually knew the job. That's why I'm not helping that next person.
Can I ask you this question?
Yes.
Can I ask you this question? If in that scenario, how long before you leave?
I think you should always be prepared to leave. Go ahead, Shake.
Exactly. I keep my resume on deck all the time, ready to go. Pow! I'm ready to send it off to whomever.
Send it off. My shit is in rotation right now. I be getting interview invites.
Yeah, I think in general you should always be prepared.
I don't want to air myself out like that.
Hold on. I have no plans on leaving my current company, but I think it is imperative to every employee that they keep themselves in that open market. One is good practice to go to interviews.
Yeah.
So again, I have no plans on leaving my current company.
Hey, my company should know it's on site. Just like how you said if it's for me, it's on for you, baby.
Just like Jalen Rose said, you're only as faithful as your options.
I concur. Right? Now, who said that?
Like
Jalen
Rose, while he was married to Molly Kieran, and she was mad, said on first date.
All right, so let's move to true and false.
I say rightfully so.
Oh, my bad. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good.
All right, true and false. I give a scenario or tell a story. You tell me if you think it's true or false. Today we're focusing on North Korea. This one's a little tricky because we're gonna talk about the laws there. So you're gonna tell me if you think this law actually exists.
It's not true.
Wow. Here we go. According to North Korean law, Kim Jong-un is not fat. Is that a real law?
That's a real law.
That is true.
That's
true. That's true.
Why do you know this? Why do you think this is true?
Because it was funny because he had lost weight again and nobody was allowed to say anything because he did get fat because he imports like $400,000 US worth of fancy cheeses and he was drinking like $800,000 a year of cognac. So he developed diabetes, put on like 60 pounds, right? And was a walker. And then 2 years later, he comes out, no walker, having lost like 40 pounds. But no one's allowed to talk about that. He lost weight.
Yeah. I know this because technically his diagnosis would have been obesity and type 2 diabetes. But because they can't say he's fat, they basically said he just has diabetes. So like try explaining how someone is fat without saying it. And the only reason why a doctor wouldn't be able to say that is because there has to be a rule against calling him fat.
Okay, Miss Super says, isn't there a movie about him? Some sort of comedy?
Yeah,
with the Franco,
with the Franco
James
brothers.
Franco.
Yeah.
I can't remember the name of it. All right, so
and they actually airdropped that movie into the country.
Oh, that's too funny.
People there could watch it. It was hilarious. Great campaign.
Mm-hmm.
That's funny.
Got Sony hacked that December.
The interview, Hoy said it.
Yeah, the interview
where Eminem came out as gay, and that was the funniest thing ever. Okay, so yes, that is true, and apparently everyone knew that. Okay, wow. True or false? The punishment for listening to K-pop is death.
Yes. Can be up to death. Can be as severe as death, 100%. Because you can't have any. Because K-pop is Southern Korean, not Northern Korean. That's a Western influence. That's death. That's death. That's death. And not just death for you. That's just up to death for 3 generations. They wipe out. Like your lineage doesn't exist. They don't play.
I'm gonna say false here. I feel like it should be true, but like I feel like music. I feel like music wouldn't be. You know what? You're right. It is true. If it's a Western influence, it's a no. Yeah, you're right. It's true.
Okay, Dan says, yeah, it's a Southern influence, and it's true. Yeah, pretty much any media coming out of South Korea will get you killed.
Killed, yeah. They'll kill you for running across the bridge. Of course, they're going to kill you for listening to their music.
You know how petty they are in this continued war? South Korea just be having speakers on the border, just be blasting K-pop into.
Oh, that's too funny.
Into North Korea. So, that's like, the soldiers who are on the line, like, technically can't stop themselves from hearing it.
Yeah.
Right? Like that level of petty.
Could you imagine working a shift on the bridge and then you going into like the dungeon like they be like, what the fuck you been listening to? What the hell you been listening to? How you know the lyrics? How do you know the lyrics?
Okay. True or false?
So you heard that new album and you say, yeah. Oh, what you mean? What you mean you heard that new album?
Wow. According to North Korean law, Kim Jong-un does not fart or shit.
This is true. And they actually have a private toilet for him that collects all of his fecal matter so no one can test it.
Why do you know this?
I'm a political newscaster. I know all this shit.
His the only president has that.
He has in his like limousine, he has a private toilet in there so he doesn't have to use public toilets. It's part of his limousine ride.
Yeah, but what is the point of this facade? Like, how does this boost his legend?
It's about the people. If you can keep the people gripped with the weirdest idea, when you do dramatic and tragic things, it's approvable, right? Like you just have to keep them in control with silly ideas. So when you do something dramatic or tragic, it's approvable.
And like when there's no food, it's hard to revolt when you're starving. When everybody's starving, it's hard to fight a revolution when your belly's hungry. When your belly's always been hungry, right? Like you get real complacent when you've always been hungry. When you don't know a better day, right?
Yeah. Okay.
So, but yeah.
Next one up. According to North Korean law, all women must have sex at least one time with Kim Jong-un.
I don't know if that's true in that right, but I know he has an army of comfort women. I know technically, like if he happened to be going through the village and he liked your wife or your girl or even your daughter, like there ain't no saying no to him just doing it. So
what's the question again?
It might not be officially written down, but what you gonna say no to him?
Okay, the question.
Thank you, oh trusty leader.
The question is, according to North Korean law, all women must have sex at least one time with Kim Jong-un.
Nah, I think that's false. I think that's false.
Thanks.
Hold on, he says that kind of slaps if you're the king.
For real though.
because based on that law, he can have sex with his mom, his sister, or whoever.
I'm quite sure there would be an incest clause.
Yeah, that's not what you said though. Shit, so
I didn't.
False.
Okay, so this is false, but as Sheikh pointed out, if he wants to have sex with you, you kind of don't have a choice.
Yeah.
And the last one for true or false. I can't even talk. Homosexuality is illegal in North Korea.
Of course.
Yeah, that's a Western idea, man.
Yeah.
Like.
All right, chat. What y'all got? Is homosexuality illegal in North Korea?
Oh wait,
Miss Super says, of course. Uh-oh, those wheels turning. He just caught it.
Yeah.
She got mad. Says true.
No, right. I think that's actually something that's allowed there. As weird as it sounds, I think that's allowed. I don't know, but I think it's allowed. I'm gonna go with true.
Wait. So
Dan says it's illegal.
Have but 13 different approved haircuts, right?
Correct.
You have to allow him to sleep with your daughter, wife, sister if he wants to, right?
Correct.
You can't listen to K-pop.
No, you can't.
Yeah, why would you allow? Why would they allow gay?
But he's like LGBTQ plus.
Yeah, you're right.
Like that don't make no sense, bud. That
but
don't
I
make
feel
no sense. So he got gay clubs and like gay discotheques, but you ain't no food in there because everybody's starving.
Okay,
I think Heero's about to figure this one out.
I think gay people are allowed there. Gay people are allowed there.
Okay.
You want to be allowed, just don't come out.
It is not illegal to be homosexual.
Oh, yeah.
It is not illegal.
I feel like it's not. Yeah.
Because of how locked down North Korea is, the concept of homosexuality is not in that country.
Oh, so they don't even acknowledge it.
Correct. So there may be a few gay people somewhere, but no one would know.
That's awesome.
So that's kind of like a trick question.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Okay, so we have one more topic for the night, and that is...
Dan, I hope you're talking about North Korea, brother, because you're about to be canceled in America for saying that
Indeed.
The first phrase, you can't change genders.
Now, this is supposed to say king of petty, but of course I didn't spell check, so that's just not what it says. All right. So, if you had security footage that would alibi your horrible neighbor, would you hand over that evidence to the authorities?
Nope.
And when I say horrible, Sheikh is like, hell no.
Hell no, I don't want no police. Nothing.
Sheikh knows how horrible me and Tanya had it when we lived in the condos around the corner. After a while, our neighbors were horrible. Wouldn't blasting music, wouldn't watch the kids. I mean, they turned our little suburban oasis into the hood.
Hood baby. Hood baby.
Smoking weed. I'm like, really? You're smoking weed in front of your child? Like your 3-year-old? Like, dude. And this, still when marijuana was illegal. So again, if you had horrible neighbors for whatever reason, because no, I'm not giving an account. Would you give the authorities video footage that would alibi them?
Hell no.
All right.
No.
Tell us why, Shake.
They got to subpoena me. I'm not working with no siree. I don't snitch, man. I'm not working with the police.
You don't snitch and you don't unsnitch? Like
no. That's upon you. Yo, figure your own alibi out, blood. You shouldn't have been addicted to me. Figure it out yourself. Like, you got yourself in that situation, not me. Right? So now guess what? Now you need me to help you. Oh, ironic, my friend. So like I hope you got some chicken, some scratch, because help doesn't come free. Right? Like you clearly paying for a lawyer, so you can afford to pay me to get out, to help you get out of jail. Right?
Oh, so if they had a court-appointed attorney, would you?
I'm gonna say, don't drop the soap. Sorry, sucks to suck, and I'm gonna delete that video because again, preface what you said. It wasn't just your neighbor, right? It's a neighbor you got beef with, right? Like, and I don't wish jail upon nobody, right? I don't wish jail, prison upon nobody. That's a terrible place for people, but there's terrible places for terrible people. And clearly you have now crossed over into the line of terrible people because you have messed with my humble abode.
Dan says that's just a dumb take. Dan, I agree. Not with you, but with Shake.
That means I disagree with both of y'all.
Oh, you can. Okay. I'm coming to you, and I'm saying, hey, these walls are thin. Would you mind not getting all your smoke into my condo? Could you put some ventilation in? Could you do something? Oh, fuck you. Damn. Hey, can you watch your kids? Your kids are everywhere. They're making a whole bunch of noise. They're tearing stuff up. Fuck you. Oh, damn.
Okay.
So.
Hey, and I'm going to say this. Hey, was he smoking in your condo?
Yeah.
Yes or no?
But no.
Was his kids inside of your condo? Yes or no?
At one point, yes, but no.
Okay.
So, not playing semantics. No.
And I'll give you half and half. The only time it's an issue is when it comes in direct line to you. Now, to answer the question.
Wait, stop. No, it comes into an issue because you're lowering my property value.
But once again, property value is dictated by a collective group. You understand?
Indeed. And if your kid is running around tearing up the property, that collective group is saying that's not worth as much.
Stays in a condo. Now, if you was in a gated fence with half an acre to your own disposal, your neighbor could do whatever the hell they want, and it will never affect your value. So, like, you bought into the system. You have to take the good with the bad. That's just how it runs.
Okay, where I agree with you there. If I put up cameras because of your ass, they're for me, not for you. I had to put up cameras to protect myself from you, not to get you out of jail. So you know what? You can keep your ass in jail.
No, and like I said, I'll take that same grain of salt and I'll still disagree with you. I will give it to them as long as there's a reward, a payment, or a fee for my process. Because in the court of law, you are allowed to your Fourth Amendment, but you can charge people for access to your crime. Now, if this is a felony, they would have to subpoena you. If this is something
that subpoena me,
yeah. If they subpoena you, is one thing. But my favorite thing to do is to ask: is there? And I've done this hundreds of times. Before talking to the police, is there a cash reward for information? That is all you have to ask. And if the police say, yes, there is a cash reward, well, how much is it? Oh, $500? I'll come back to you in 3 months when it's $1,000.
Mm-hmm. Because I know he wants to get out of jail.
Hold on. Dan says ruining people's lives because you have a beef with the neighbor is insane. All right. I agree with you, Dan, but the neighbor isn't looking at it that way. The neighbor isn't saying, hey, I'm ruining this person's life, which is causing this beef. So my question to you, Dan, would you slap somebody and then go ask that person for help? Like, I just don't think you would.
And the thing about it, and this is like if I was totally being selfish, right? Just if I wanted to make a gain on it. For me, it's no sum. I have a saying, I believe in justice more than I believe in mercy. And I say that to say, I know, I know, like, our justice system has put people on death row who are innocent at a rate of 16%. Our justice system isn't just enough to justify its justice upon us. So if the mercy is coming from me to make justice possible, so be it. But in the grand scheme of things, holding that over that person's head, using that to affiliate yourself moving forward, I mean, look at you now, right? You're in a better off situation, but like, to ruin their life, to Dan's point, no. But to make a little money, call me petty, but I'm gonna be $300 richer.
All right, so Heero is half petty.
And again, you got beef with this neighbor. This isn't a neighbor you like. It's not a neighbor you're just amicable with. You got beef with him.
What is beef, though?
We are getting killed by the chat right now. Like, hold on.
I mean, like, if you're saying this person was just a bad person, hey, is nothing wrong with asking, is there any fee for any information? You're providing a service. It's your equipment, it's your information, it's your time to download and process that information. Hey, is there anything to take care of the work that I'm going to have to do to help this neighbor? There's nothing wrong with that. But I mean, as far as not doing anything, if you saw that they were innocent and withheld that would be what I feel is too far gone. Like, there's nothing that anyone could do, barring killing my loved one, that would make me turn my blind eye to them. But I mean, I'm gonna get paid for my services.
Actually, there's a lot of things people could do where I'm gonna turn a blind eye. I never said I wasn't selfish. So, like, if people think I wasn't selfish, I have never said that I wasn't selfish. Like, this take is 100% on brand. This is not even a joke. Like, I am 100% selfish. Like, you don't get to make my life miserable and then expect me to just be Jesus damn Christ, right? You ask God for that forgiveness.
God is for forgiveness.
Not me. Like I'm gonna get my revenge in this life and hope he take the revenge in the next one.
Yeah.
At least I'm gonna get some money. At the barest minimum with you, Heero, I'm gonna get some money. At the barest of minimum, I might make you sit up. You might sit on the bump for 2 weeks. I might even hold the video for 2 or 3 weeks, make you sit on the bump a little bit, scare you a little bit.
Get some peace.
Yeah, a little peace. Right? How much you wouldn't matter, like a month of just peace and quiet, right? The kids are at CPS, right? No weed coming to your condo, right? Just a month of just tranquility, and you're like, all right, you know what? Jail is terrible. Wouldn't wish it on anybody. All right, here you go, police. Right? I won't even charge them if I get a month. Sit quiet, right?
Whoa. So Hoy says, have you heard the saying, dropping something nice for your enemy, doing something nice for your enemy is like dropping burning coals on their head. Hey, I think letting them sit in jail is like burning coals on their head.
Remember when I said I realized adults say, like, our adults don't have their shit together? That was a saying adults used to say, man. I'm like, adults are the most vengeful people in the world. Yeah. Literally, we are adults. Like, if these were children or something like this, if we were living from a child's perspective, sure. But like, vengeance is pure.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so from what I'm gathering, no one in the chat has ever had to deal with stupidity for the sake of stupidity. And I'm a bit older, so I have, and it's not cool. It's like, vengeance doesn't bring fulfillment.
Tell that to Batman. Shit.
Yeah, for real. Like, there's a whole character arc who built his entire lifestyle. He could have been a rich bachelor, right? Sleeping with mad beautiful women, just being a philanthropist. And no, he decides to do, I'm gonna spend my nights, right, dressed up in a bat suit, getting the brakes beat out of me because I got some rough trade kinks in like that I need to get out, right? And have my butler every single damn night stitch me up. Then go to the boardroom in the morning. We set up a whole superhero that people love off this. Like, vengeance is sweet, right? Yeah. Like, come on now.
Okay.
Again, Dan, I didn't say I have humanity, right?
He said, like, Super say, put some respect on Batman. Okay. All bullshit aside, I think it was Hoist who said it earlier that, this is something you have to live with. And I understand that, and I'm just not that person. You know, I couldn't live with myself if that happened. But as Shake said, I could live with it for a few months of having peace and tranquility, where I just, you know, lay down 200,000 for a damn condo, and I got to deal with your kids. Yeah, so eventually I'll get the tape over there. Quick. Go ahead.
Put you on the bump real quick. Just make you ride the fence.
Take a time out.
Just like your coach did. Just like coach did when you wasn't playing, when you wasn't practicing hard. He put you on the bench, gave you a little timeout, right? Made you rethink about things, right? I bet you're gonna be real nice when you come out now. I bet you we're not gonna have beef. I bet we not having problems no more. Right?
But I think you will.
No smoke in your apartment.
I think it will be.
Kids gonna be inside.
No, it's definitely gonna be. Things aren't gonna get better because
that's what I'm saying. I don't think me helping this person is going because I never
That's gonna be
do
part
that.
of the situation. I'm getting on the visitors list. I'm like, yo, I heard you want to get out.
Okay, but hold on.
So I also hear like,
hey,
you might get out.
Shake is a fucking villain. Period. Shake
hold
is
on,
a villain.
wait. Let me ask y'all guys this. When you open the door for someone, like say you see an elderly gentleman walking out the gym, and you open the door for him, or the supermarket or whatever, are you expecting him to say thank you?
No, but if you don't, I'll be rude and say, you're welcome.
No,
This guy. I don't.
I don't expect.
Courtesy, especially if you see the door. If you see the door open, it's courtesy, right?
Right.
Did something for you. It should be natural to me, right? It should be natural. Yeah, I'm petty like that.
In this situation, I would say it's like, what came first, the egg or the chicken? Is being courteous? Are you being courteous to receive thanks, or are you required to show gratefulness for anyone that approaches you? So for me, I open the door because I think that's the right thing to do. I'll open the door for someone who I feel it would have more difficult time dealing with that door, because I've seen it happen where I didn't hold a door one time and that old person got hurt. So like I live in that duality. I saw the consequences of my action when I was younger. So I always just hold the door, and you don't ever have to say shit to me. In fact, even if you say thank you, I won't say you're welcome. I'll just keep it pushing.
Okay, so the reason why I asked that question